In the previous video about complex sentences, we learned that a complex sentence contains an independent clause and a dependent clause. I did mention, though, how a dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. That's how you can identify a dependent clause. Below is a list of all the most common subordinating conjunctions that you may use in your writing. However, I want you to note that these aren't all of the subordinating conjunctions. There are plenty more, but we've chosen the most popular, and we're going to go through a few of them today. So if we were to look at the first types of complex sentences, remember, you can begin with a dependent clause, add a comma, and connect it to an independent clause. Or you can begin with an independent clause, have no punctuation, and connect it to a dependent clause. If you start strong, you don't need anything to help it along. But if you start weak, you need something to attach it. Okay? So, the first type of subordinated conjunction we are going to use is one that refers to time. So, after, other ones would be before, since, until, when, and while. So now I know we're referring to a period of time. So here I'm starting with a dependent clause. After looking at the road not taken, well, yeah, what happened? Okay, so I'm going to add a comma and then attach it to my independent clause. The reader can determine the speaker's point of view. Great. So now that together creates a complete sentence, a DC, comma, IC. Now let me just switch it around because I don't feel like using a comma and I want to start with my independent clause. The reader can determine the speaker's point of view after looking at the road not taken. Notice I do not have a comma here. Now, a different type of subordinated conjunction would show cause and effect. So some examples of subordinated conjunctions that do that are if, which we'll use in our examples here, because, and since. So let's look at this one. If the road not taken is a nostalgic commentary, yeah, all right, what would be the effect of that? Then the reader looks at the past in a positive way. Okay, so that is beginning with a dependent clause. It couldn't stand alone, so I added a comma here and attached it to an independent clause, which is a normally complete sentence. Now, let me switch it around and begin strong. The reader looks at the past in a positive way. All right, what is the cause of that? If the road not taken is a nostalgic commentary. So if I wanted to, I could replace these subordinated conjunctions, and it could actually mean the same thing. Let's replace it. Because the road not taken is a nostalgic commentary, the reader looks at the past in a positive way. Okay, that basically worked. All I had to do is get rid of the word then. Last, let's look at a subordinated conjunction that deals with contrasting, so showing the opposite. The one we're going to use is whereas, because that's not a common one we see. The other ones you might be familiar with are while and even though. So once again, I'm going to start with a dependent clause and attach it to an independent clause. Whereas some people see the road not taken as a nostalgic commentary, comma, okay, what? Where's my independent clause? Others see it as an unemotional remembrance. So here we're seeing opposing viewpoints, so that's why I'm using whereas. Now let's switch it around, starting with my independent clause. Others see the road not taken as an unemotional remembrance. Okay, but now let's connect it to that dependent clause. Whereas some people see it as a nostalgic commentary. Remember, usually, not always, I can take one of these subordinated conjunctions that also means contrast and replace it. So let's try it with while. While some people see the road not taken as a nostalgic commentary, others see it as an unemotional remembrance. Oh, that worked. Let's try even though. Others see the road not taken as an unemotional remembrance, even though some people see it as a nostalgic commentary. Great. So all of those subordinated conjunctions showed contrast. So one more reminder before we end this video. Remember, dependent clauses cannot stand alone, but they always begin with a subordinated conjunction. So if you start a sentence with one of these, or if your sentence in the middle has one of these, you are dealing with a complex sentence. And you need to remind yourself, if I begin strong, I don't need anything to help it along, so I should not have a comma. But if I start my sentence with one of these words, I'm going to have a comma before the independent clause that I attach it to. Thank you very much.